This is all new to me. I'm not used to doing this live thing. I usually go live on Happy Hour on Fridays with Litecoin Lisa, 4 p.m. Central Time. Check it out, Litecoin Lisa's channel. But she handles all the live stuff, so I don't do any of the live. I usually just, set up the tripod when I feel like it and start talking. So I'm kind of getting used to this. I'm going to figure out how to use all these tools. But it says, you're live, so I must be live. Hopefully. Looks like there's one person in the chat and 1 thumbs up. So that's pretty awesome. I can't tell who's in the chat unless I look at it on another device. It's Daddy-O. There we go. Thank you. Read my mind. Perfect. No, what did I title it today? The privacy, does it really matter? Does it matter anymore? Privacy. I saw Mike Maloney. He's got pretty good stuff. He puts out nice little sound bites. Hey, Carol F., thanks for hopping in. Howdy. But Mike Maloney, I followed him for a long time, and I kind of got, I fell away from it. He's more into precious metals, gold, primarily silver. But he talks a lot about the existing system and how it's kind of corrupt and, how it basically robs you. And it's a no-win. And so that's why he's a precious metals guy. But he had like a 10-minute, he breaks things down. It's very easy to understand, concise and informative. But he had a video today I watched. Birds are making all kinds of noise. But the video I watched today was, he was talking about the IRS and how the Supreme Court ruled that the IRS can essentially look at everything in your bank account, all the transactions, without even telling you. Okay, that's kind of unconstitutional, I would think. No search warrant or anything. I don't know, just saying. But that's something that I can't believe that would stand up in court. But the Supreme Court said, oh, yeah, that's okay. And the premise is that, hey, if there's somebody that, I don't know what the criteria is, but someone who's engaged in bad activities and you happen to know that person or be affiliated with him or her, well, the IRS can start looking at the stuff in your bank account and say, hey, this guy might be affiliated. He might be part of the drug transactions that are going on, which then leads back to the CA, because they don't want competition. That's why we've got all these things. No competition. Let's wipe everybody out. Can't have anyway, let's not go there in this video. But the point is, do you even have any privacy over your money? You put it in the bank and you think it's safe, you think it's okay, but if they can just at any moment make a connection to you that, oh my gosh, you've had a phone call with this person, or you sold, something to this person, or any kind of a connection at all. Oh, I bumped into this person at Walmart, and they've got it on video because they surveil everything. So there's the, okay, now we can do this. It's kind of like the FISA warrants, warrantless searches, to where if you are connected to anyone, and they did this to a president, they did this to a presidential candidate and a president in Trump, where they can just go and, well, this person's connected to this person, to that person. And we all know the whole, what is it, 5 degrees, or what is it, 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon? What is it? It's 5, what do they call it? I don't even know what it was. 5 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's even 3 people. So essentially Kevin Bacon, he's an actor. He's been in all these movies since I think he was in Friday the 13th. He got killed in the original. Go back and look at that one. But he's been in a lot of different movies. And so he's interacted with a lot of different actors and actresses throughout his career. And so if you look at his connection, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I don't know what it is, but there's a number that you can basically track your connection to Kevin Bacon. Because, okay, he was in this movie with that person was in a movie with that person was at a concert with that person, and you were at that concert. So essentially they can, make a connection back to Kevin Bacon, the center of, it's the Bacon universe, the Bacon-ocentric universe that we're in, everything revolves around Kevin Bacon. But you can make that connection, and you can do that with other people. Kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. There's been research done on that. Everybody thinks, oh my gosh, look at all the bad things, weird things that are happening in the Bermuda Triangle. And then there have been researchers who have just drawn a triangle anywhere on the earth, the same size, and pretty much the same things happen, over time. So it's kind of like, what significance is there really? But the point is that you can make any connection you want. Show me the person and I'll find the crime, kind of thing. And so it's kind of, for them to have authority to go looking at anybody's bank account because of connections basically says, through the example I use, that they can look at anybody's bank account. So do you even have any privacy at that point? I argue you don't. And I kind of operate in that premise that there is no privacy, none whatsoever anymore. All these screens, you know, this screen I'm talking on right now, this black mirror, and I say that a lot, the black mirror, that's what it is, a black mirror. You look at it when it's off, it's a black mirror. And then you go look at the episodes of the Black Mirror. Was it on Netflix or on another program, other platform? But kind of like modern day techno, sci-fi Twilight Zone kind of thing. Dark, you know, Matrix meets Twilight Zone. Things that could happen though. Absolutely things that could happen. It's kind of predictive of what could happen. So kind of scary. But, you know, we're in that situation where we've got all these devices everywhere. In the book 1984, there were listening devices, you know, out in the trees and the bushes. And at the time when it was written, I don't know, it was written in the 40s, 50s. I can't remember when Aldous Huxley wrote that book. It was Aldous Huxley, wasn't it? Because his brother was involved in intelligence agencies in Europe and England. Anyway, so that's why he knew all this stuff. So at the time, you're like, how are they going to put all these devices everywhere? I mean, give me a break. We're going to put it in a freaking bush. You know, and that's what they did. I mean, how's that even possible? Well, now, think Black Mirror. You can put it in little mosquitoes and bees, and you got Bill Gates, you know, bringing in all these mosquitoes, and so we can, you know, genetically modify them and shoot them up with vaccines and do whatever you want. And I mean, you're using these things. You're using technology, and you can even build the little mosquitoes and the little tiny flies. And I mean, that's where we're at with technology. So to think that, you know, you can't monitor and listen to anything and everything, you're kind of foolish at this point, because technology's caught up with the plan of total control. You know, that psychopathic mindset that they want to control the world, the vampires that run things. So can't let it go out. So to think that we have privacy anymore, I assume we don't, is my point. Because you've all had the experience of, you talk about something and the next thing you know, it's on your social media feed as an advertisement. And there's just, when you think back through it, and it's never shown up before, and then it just shows up all of a sudden. And you think, well, how in the heck could that possibly be the case? Well, I mean, these devices are always on when you say, hey Siri, when you say, hey Alexa, and you know, the thing turns on. It's listening all the time. It's listening for keywords. Well, what's to say it's not listening for other keywords? You know, I say something like CIA, and then all the cameras turn on. The mechanical birds in the trees are now listening. Look, see, they stopped. They're silent now. They're listening. There's that theory that there are no birds. They're all robots at this point. But I beg to differ, because the dogs are constantly picking up baby birds, dead birds that don't look too mechanical, look real to me. Not to say that those things don't exist. They probably do. But I assume that I'm being listened to all the time. And that's a crappy way to go through life, because we've all become numb to it, I think. We all accept it. You know, just through, you know, again, the frog boiling in the pot that they keep turning up. You know, 10 years ago, we'd say, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing a thumb scan. I'm not doing a face scan to get in my phone. And now we all do it. It's just slowly they've gotten us to do these things. And hey, I'm not going to wear a mask to go, you know, freaking get my ID renewed, or go get food at the store, or go to a restaurant. And then look what happens. And it's just this constant push down this slope, this slippery slope, and it gets slipperier and slipperier. And that's kind of where we're at now. And now we're in this technological age. I wish we were in a techno age. That'd be a little better. You know, have techno music all the time rather than the technology. But since we're at this point, we really got to start thinking, okay, is anything private? Is anything safe? Is anything secure when they have access to everything? And when they issue the money, the CBDCs, they're going to have total control over everything. The first thing, I guess, is realize that it's happening, and I've embraced it. I don't even care. I speak the truth. I'm just going to tell the truth. And whatever happens, happens. Because if you live in the shadows, those are the people they come after, because you don't have a voice. And if you don't have a voice, easy to disappear you. So I think it's better to be in the light. I think it's better to just to say, okay, fine, whatever. This is a tool used to enslave that you want to use to enslave, but what am I going to do? I'm going to turn it around and say, all right, I'll look at the stare back from the black mirror, stare back from the abyss, and use that tool to get a message out, to bring a message of truth out. And hopefully other people will see that and say, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I'm done. The system's dead. And I'm not going to let it just, vampire on me. So I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And more people are going to see that. And more people are going to awaken, because when you first kind of go down that rabbit hole and you start thinking, oh my God, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. And a lot of people are waking up now, and they're just, remember that a lot of people are waking up now, when a lot of us have already been awake for decades, really, at this point. Whatever your trigger point was that got you to look at it and say, okay, this is all fraud, this is all phony. But realize where you were at that point in your mindset, and how dark it kind of was at first. You're like, oh my gosh, this is hopeless. There's nothing we can do. They control absolutely everything. They control the media, the banking, the medical industrial complex, military industrial complex, the government, everything. Is that a bird back there or a squirrel? Yeah, there's a squirrel running around. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm not looking. No, that's great, JB. 20 years awake this November. Awesome. And that's what needs to happen. You get to a point and you just realize, all right, okay, this is craziness. They do control everything. But then you look at it as, okay, how hard is it to maintain control, though? I mean, how much money, and look at the money, unlimited money that they've had, and they still can't control everybody. And that's the positive of the whole thing. They still can't shut me down, no matter what. And, I still have a voice. There's still so many voices out there, even though they've done everything they can to try and fear you into volunteering into the vampire casino, yet there are still people who say, nope, not going to do it. And they're going to use the tools the other direction. That's all it is. We're using weapons of war here, techno war and monetary war, and we're just using the tools. So fine, tools are out there. I'm going to use them for what I want to use them for. I'm not going to use them to use the hammer to tear down the house. I'll use it to build a house or put up a screen door, which I did yesterday. So it's really up to us. And you just get to that point to where I'm just done. I'm not going to be afraid of it. I don't care. I know it's dark. I know it's a vampire system. I know they're vampires. But then you realize that, okay, why are we such a threat? Why are they coming after us so hard? Why are they trying to shut us down, with everything that they have, with all of the tools that they have, unlimited resources that they have, and they're trying to silence voices and conspiracy theory this and, whatever, fringe this, they do all that stuff because they see the truth as a threat. And all it takes for the truth to survive is for one person to keep speaking it. And so to them, that's a scary thing, because they're weak people. They can't stand on their own. They have to perpetuate lies and fear and illusions and all of this just drama that happens all the time, this inflated or conflated narrative. And that's all it is. It's just narratives. Speaking of narratives, we've got the whole smoke thing. I mean, it's just like, where's the smoke's coming from? Canada, obviously. And you got people saying, oh my gosh, you don't go outside, don't wear a mask. It kind of reminds me of what just happened. Now, I get it. There are some, who knows what's in the smoke? I mean, it's hard telling. That's a perfect false flag, really, when it comes down to it. That's something that would, that who knows what could be injected in that stuff. I mean, you constantly before it rains, I look up at the sky here and, oh, look, there are the trails. Today, none. But when it's going to rain the next day or so, trails everywhere, crisscross, checkerboard patterns. It's like they're stitching something in the sky. And I'm like, what is in that stuff? What's different today as opposed to the other days? And so you think, if they're doing that, what's in the smoke? Because it's an obvious thing right there, and it gets down to ground level where you're breathing it. So, something to think about. It's hard to know when you have unlimited resources and you're backed into a corner like they are now, to where people are waking up, what they're going to do. So just something to think about and do your own research on that. I, on the other hand, figured, you know what? I've learned from the past 3 years. I'm going to inoculate myself from the smoke. Therefore, I've got my smoke stick, my smoke prick. I'm gonna not, I guess it works with the other stuff. Why wouldn't it work with this, right? So I'll have immunity to the smoke if the smoke ever gets here. Just a thought, right? Yeah, right. But that's the thinking. That's how they think. Oh, okay, you'll be fine. You get this, and then you realize you've been lied to, and then you end up like Jamie Foxx in a rehab center or whatever kind of rehabilitation center in Chicago. Then you'll never see him again, because what happened? And that's the question. What happened to him? Don't know. No idea. But we can't talk about that. Back to the privacy thing. People say you think you're a conspiracy. Yeah, I'm a conspiracy truthist at this point, because conspiracy. What's a conspiracy? It's just people coming together, conspiring to create a scenario or roll out some sort of plan. That's happens all the time. We know it does. See, we buy into this stuff and we believe this stuff in movies. We watch the mafia, we watch government, we watch House of Cards, you watch all these series that are popular, and that's all it's about. It's about conspiracies. It's about people working together to kind of steer events a certain way. And we watch it on these shows and we think, oh, well, yeah, that happens all the time. Then when it comes to real life, we don't believe it anymore. We don't think that happens. Of course it happens. That's exactly how it happens. So don't think it doesn't. It's just, it's this cognitive dissonance that so many people suffer from. It's like, yeah, absolutely, that can be true. And then when it comes down to, thinking that, well, it can't be my priest or my governor, it can't be my mayor, they wouldn't do that. Why not? You believe it when it's, in another state or in another church, but you don't believe it for your own. And that's where the deception comes in. You got to realize it can be anywhere. It is anywhere. It is everywhere. And so recognize that and react and live accordingly. Maybe you shouldn't trust people in authority. Because where do they get their authority from? They get it from us. And if we decide that these people aren't really acting in the best way, it's up to us to call them out and not just go along with it and say, well, he's got a uniform on, or, well, he's got a title, and, we don't want to mess with them. It's like, why not? They're no better than you are. Again, they're just vampires putting on a show. That's all they're doing. They're putting on a show to deceive you, to neutralize your strength. And that's all they're doing. They just want to, let's just, not let these people realize how empowered they are and how powerful they are. And that's the game. So to get back to the privacy thing a little bit, it's kind of what direction are we going to go? Are we going to go down that direction, that path of, it doesn't even matter, who cares, privacy, isn't an important thing, especially privacy and money. I saw today, Wells Fargo, it's going around on Twitter. There's a sign on a Wells Fargo door. I don't, who knows? It happens all the time again. Due to emergency conditions, you can only withdraw $1,000 today. Well, okay, you got $10,000 in your account. You can only get $1,000 out because of emergency conditions. What is the emergency condition? That people realize you don't have the cash in the bank? That's the emergency condition. People woke up because no bank has all the cash. It's not backed. It's fractional reserve banking. $1 goes in, $9 gets loaned out. That's just how it works. It might be even higher than that now. So again, why would you want to leave your money in a bank to where you've got a government agency, arguably a government agency, I guess, can go and look at anything that you're doing, any transactions that you're doing, and also they say, maybe you can't take it out, only $1,000. Why do you want to be in that kind of situation of voluntary enslavement? Because that's all it is. I would rather be in a position to where, I got money I can send anytime I want, anywhere I want, any time of the day, 365 days a year. It runs on a network that's been running for almost 12 years straight. Outside of banking, outside of government, it's not asking for permission. I'd rather use Litecoin. Sound money for the digital age. Makes sense, doesn't it? Does to me. Low transaction fees. Peer-to-peer, just like the Satoshi white paper. which I do have a link to that on my website, clintwestwood.net. I got a lot of resources out there, so if you're new to crypto, go watch some of the videos and check that stuff out. It's important to understand what crypto is there for. The first block of Bitcoin that came out had a message in it with an exchequer or a chancellor to pursue a new bailout. The whole reason for Bitcoin, right in your face, was to be able to exit the vampire casino. It isn't to, hey, price go up and we make lots of fake dollars that they're creating. That's what they want to do. They want to scare you out of that ability to be able to hold your own wealth and transact with people, us, non-vampires. That's the whole idea of cryptocurrency. It's not about, an investment. I mean, you can look at it that way, but it's really not that. It's a fundamental shift in how we preserve our wealth and our energy and how we interact with each other with that. Just to understand what the mindset is here. Anymore it's just, I don't know, that original idea of being able to exit the system and have a form of money that allows you to do that is kind of being lost. And it's important not to lose that. So just something to think about there. And then privacy. What privacy? There are coins that allow you to have opt-in to privacy. That's why I like Litecoin. You've got Mimble. You can opt into a private transaction. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that? It's there. Just saying. Use the tools that are there to fight that economic war, that spiritual war, really, against the vampire system. Again, privacy. I think about I don't know what generations you call them at this point. Generation Z, millennials, then Generation Z. I don't even know, whatever labels on it, but people younger than I am. I mean, like my daughter, she's 18. She's got friends, and they've always got their Snap Map on. Okay, so they're on Snapchat, and then they have something called Snap Map, to where you got the little cute little face on there, the emoji that they can put. You can pull it up and you can look and see where they're at. I mean, publicly. I mean, I guess maybe you have to be following or be a friend on Snapchat, whatever. But how hard is it to get somebody to friend you on Snapchat? And so you can look at everything they're doing, watch them, completely track and trace them. Venmo, if by default, when you download a Venmo wallet and you send Venmo, money through Venmo, that system back and forth, it's completely public. And they ask you to put a little memo. Oh, what's this for? Oh, it's for pizza. Oh, it's for makeup. Oh, it's for this and that. And I mean, I sent something to somebody a long time ago, just a friend, kind of an acquaintance more than anything, because friends' daughters, anyway. So I sent something to her, and immediately I'm like, crap, man, I can see everything she's sending to all her people. And I said, you might want to turn that off. And her husband's in IT. I said, you might want to turn that off and make that private, because I can see every transaction that you make. And for the longest time, she had it on, years. And I'm just like, why do you want to broadcast that to everybody? Why do you want to make yourself a target in this digital world? Why, it just doesn't make sense to me. My daughter is she's working at a concert for the VIP boxes, and Tim McGraw's there, and Jelly Roll's there. It made me think of Jelly Roll, his song, when I get rich, I'm gonna still act broke, wake up and put on yesterday's clothes. And I think about that, and it's just like, at some point, why do you want to flaunt everything that you have? I mean, is it cool? Let's go buy a Lambo. Let's go get a Rolex. Let's go get this and that, gold chains, all this stuff, and walk around and pimping it. Where does that mentality come from? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to do that kind of thing, because, I mean, if you're a criminal, who are you going after? You're going to go after that flamboyant person that's walking down the street. I mean, you're going to go after the bum? You're going to shake down the bum? No, you're going to shake down the guy that's, conspicuously consuming everything and flaunting it all. I mean, give me a break. It's like, I just don't understand the mentality of certain people, not everybody, but why would you want to put yourself in that kind of position? I don't know. Privacy is an important thing. I think there is definitely a need for that. And what do you have to hide, though? What do you have to hide? Okay, well, just just live in a glass house with unlocked doors, windows that open. You know, what I saw Elon Musk, or I think it was Elon Musk, posted something about the toilet, you know, as a transparent toilet so you can see everything going through it. There's a reason why we don't make those. Nobody wants to see that. You know, why do you want to be involved in that? Okay, so you got a porta potty with a glass door. Okay, you go to the carnival, you know, sit in the porta potty with the glass door, or just a completely transparent porta potty. Why do you need privacy? Why do you need it? Got something to hide? What are you hiding in there? I mean, it's just common sense. And people make the argument though, this fallacy that you don't need privacy, it's not important. Bull. Everybody throughout the whole day, think of the things that you do that are private. Oh, you just go out and stand in public and urinate all over? No, why not? Oh, you want a little privacy? Okay. I mean, it's just common sense, yet they want to make common sense not common anymore. And it's just, at some point, you just have to say, I'm done with it. You know, you people are nuts. You know, we're not going along with this to appease anymore. It's just no. And we just got to get used to saying, no, we're not doing this. No. And just get in that mindset, get in that mentality, because you can say no. No, not doing it. Wish more people would say no. Raise the debt ceiling. No. More money to Ukraine. No. Cigar went out. Yeah. No. So, I don't know. I'm going to check the chat. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that, the privacy thing, why it's important. I think everybody knows it is, but it's just, don't let them make you think that it's not important, because it is. No. You hear that? I didn't have it on mute. Yeah, man. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, June 23rd. We've got our meetup coming up in Peoria, Illinois. Go to clintwestwood.net while you're watching some of those videos out there. Go to the top link, and it has a link to the happy hour roadshow that Litecoin Lisa and I are doing in Peoria, Illinois on June 23rd. We will be having a live stream at 4 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be there starting the meetup at 3 p.m. It's at Peoria Pizza Works. Again, all the details on my website. Yeah, the 100 Monkey Syndrome. Acid rain, right, Daddy-O? Get to that meetup. I mean, seriously, get to the meetup. It's free to go to. I'll set you up with a wallet and send you Litecoin. And, yeah, I got it. Cool. John Voth. I don't know that you've ever been in here, man. Thanks for hopping in. Yeah, you got some train. Yeah, right. Good comments in there. Howie One's in here. JB, thanks for hopping in. Tom, Jeff, my man, my secret brownie recipe, very important. Jeff, are you? I don't know. It might be a long drive for you. You ought to drive up here and be a good time. Come up to this meetup and it'll be fun. I think you'll like it. I think you still got your dog, or a different dog. Maybe you ought to hop on up here and we'll have a good time. More details on that. I'll reach out to you. So yeah, cool. Yeah, good pizza there. Exactly, Howie. No, it's a great time. A lot of great people coming together, and that's what's the most important thing. You're not alone. You're not isolated here. Because they want to make you think that way. They want to make you think that, hey, nobody thinks like this. I'm just an oddball. You know, my family thinks I'm nuts. This person thinks I'm nuts. You know, it doesn't matter, because if you think about the amount of people, the number of people, there have been studies about this, the number of people it takes to have a mind shift, to change a paradigm, it's a very small amount, but it's a small amount of very dedicated people and devoted people to a cause, and you can't shut that down. And those people will drive you into a new paradigm, will be the spearhead into a new paradigm, and other people will just follow. There'll be another segment behind that say, yeah, all right, I've been thinking that, I just didn't want to say anything. Yeah, silent majority type. And they're going to be right behind you. But you got to trailblaze. I mean, you've got to get out there and you got to push forward and know that if you've got the ability to do it, you should probably do it. You don't live that life of regret. You know, get out there and make a change. Listen, you're born, you're here. What better time than to make it happen than now? Because when you're old and broken down and you think, oh, I could have done something a little bit more and I didn't do it. Now I can't do it. Now you got to depend on somebody else to do it. And it's like, nope, let's do it now. Let's get it going. Because I guarantee there's going to be people right behind you that are just thinking, I'm on the fence. I mean, I want to do it, but don't want to do it alone. When they see that they're not alone, that's when people wake up and activate. And then the mass of humanity is just going to follow along anyway. They're just like an anchor that just comes along with the boat. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, because they just don't want to participate and wake up. And so they're going to go along with whatever. So it's up to us to kind of, okay, we need to go this way, steer this thing this way, and do it. And it'll be fine, because at least it's based in truth. And you know what? How do you go wrong following the truth? I mean, really, you just can't. Because at least your conscience, your soul is pure at that point. You've done the best you can, and you just let it fall where it may. At least you did the right thing, and that's what's important, I think. So yeah, coming together for these meetups. This is the kind of inspiration, the kind of activation that we need to come together and realize that, hey, we're not alone. We're in this battle together, and we're not going to lose. It's not going to lose. You can't lose. You're leaving it better than you found it. How do you lose? And that's what we got to do. You know, leave things better than we found them. Dogs chiming in. So anyway, I'll wrap it up on that. Thanks for hopping in. I really appreciate it. I do these things kind of impromptu, so it's kind of hard to, so maybe hit that notification bell if you like to hear me ramble. And that way you'll get notified when I go live. Because obviously I don't have a consistency to it. It's just whenever I get the opportunity to do it. But go to the website, clintwestwood.net, click that link at the top, and look at all the details to get to the Peoria Pizza Works on June 23rd. It's a Friday. Having the meetup starting at probably a little before 3, but 3 o'clock until whenever. Whenever somebody kicks us out or we fall down, whatever, dragged out. But the live stream will be from 4 to 5 p.m. That's always fun. It's great to interact with the community, and I'll pull some of you up and you can talk, but if you don't want to, that's okay too. It's a great time. It's just very rejuvenating, invigorating, and it's good for the soul. So if you feel like you should go, you should probably trust yourself and do it. Might be far away, but it'll be worth your time. You can always shoot me an email too. I got my email link up there if you need any other questions. Right at the top of my website, you can email me. Love to see you there. Love it. That's why I do this stuff. I love to see people awaken and feel like, and know when they get there, because it happens every time, know that when they get there, they're just like, man, thank God I came. I'm so glad I came. It changes my life. It made me, validates what I'm thinking. So great to be around like-minded people, and you're recharged so that you can go forward and be that spear, be that tip, to go out there and fight that battle. So, all right, I hope you get to Peoria June 23rd. Thanks for hopping in, everybody. I love you all. More than anything, don't let the vampires deceive you. You gotta trust yourself. All right, have a wonderful day, and see you tomorrow on Happy Hour. Maybe make another video, but tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time, live on Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. We're doing Happy Hour. I will be having cigars, inoculating myself from the smoke that's gonna fall upon us, and I'll, probably be having a few whiskeys. All right, love you all. Have a wonderful day. Trust yourselves.